Working and living on board a cruise ship can be one of the most exciting and rewarding experiences of one's life. But it's not for everyone. With this video, we will try to give you an accurate account of what cruise ship life is all about and give you the knowledge to decide if cruise ships are right for you. The major benefit of cruise ship life is, of course, the opportunity to travel. You might not get as much port time as the passengers, but when you do, you can enjoy the most beautiful places in the world, just like a real tourist, and you don't have to pay for transportation, lodging, or meals. Most crew members share cabins, 2 to a cabin. Officers and entertainment staff usually don't, but the cabins are far less than passenger cabin quality. There is usually one deck devoted to crew cabins, most often the lowest deck. The officer cabin area is usually on the top deck, and there's usually a separate area for entertainment staff and entertainers. Cruise ships have a crew mess and an officer's mess. The food is usually better in the crew mess. Opening hours are set to coincide with the working hours of most crew members. Entertainers, senior officers, and some entertainment staff are allowed to eat in the passenger dining room. Here's what some crew members had to say about cruise ship life.
Hi, my name's Penny. I've worked on ships probably for the last 8 years, of which I never thought I would do because I originally got seasick when I came to ships. It's the last place I ever thought I'd work. I answered an ad in the newspaper in Los Angeles, went to work on a different cruise line, several different cruise lines, and I work in the gift shop. It's been a great experience for me. I've enjoyed my life here at sea. It's very different. It's really unrealistic. It's not a real life. It's very different than what anybody normally would expect. And a lot of people can't do this life. To be here at sea, I think you have to be a real survivor. You're a different breed of people, and you are a survivor to be out here. It's not necessarily that you'll have a lot of friends. You have to live in your own life a lot of times, but you have the opportunity of meeting a lot of people from all over the world, or a lot of guests from all over the world also. Like I said, I've been out here 8 years. I've made some excellent friends that in a million years I would never thought I've made before. As far as my job is, I work 7 days a week. I work for 5 months at a time. I have 1 month off. I work sometimes 15, 20 hours a day. Other times I don't work at all. So it just depends what it is, where we are, and what's going on. What you see is not necessarily what you get. Just because it looks glamorous, it's not necessarily that way. We do a lot of things behind the scenes. We do a lot of embarks. We do stores where we lift boxes, like maybe 300 or 400 boxes, into our stockroom. Nobody helps us. We actually lift these boxes from the pallets in the trucks, which I've been in before, onto the ship, down into our stockroom. You have to open them, check them in. We also do embarks, which means that we have to help guests come on when they embark the ship. So we do embarks with people. We also do a lot of different things, fashion shows on the ship. There's a lot of different things behind the scenes. So it's not necessarily that you just see us and we're selling things to people. We do a lot of things other than that. We help with things for the crew. There's penguin races. There are things nightly, like in the bars or whatever, that they have only for crew, and we help do things like that. We have crew sales downstairs only for crew. So just because we work from like 9 to 9 during the day doesn't necessarily mean that that's all we do. I've enjoyed my time on ships. I've had a fabulous time. It depends what job you have on the ship, what you do. If you're out here for money, naturally you're going to work more hours, such as a waiter or something like that, but you'll make more money. I'm out here to travel. I have a good time. I've enjoyed it. I've seen things I never in a million years thought I would get to see, and I've met a lot of people in my life that I never honestly thought that I would be able to meet. Not necessarily being famous or anything like that, but just interesting people from all walks of life. It really has been a good experience for me. It's something I would never trade for anything. The bad parts about it, I don't think my vacation's quite long enough. Naturally, we'd all have to would want to have a little bit more than what we have. My pay's not the best, but you make trade-offs. I've gotten to see a lot of things around the world for free that I never thought I would be able to do. I escort tours, which we get to do for free also. So it just depends what your trade-offs are in life. All in all, it's a good education for people. If you do choose to come out to ships, take it for that. Enjoy yourself. Take it for whatever it is, and good luck to you. Thanks.
My name is Jeff. I'm from Pennsylvania. I work as the editor aboard the ship. That means I collect the information from the various departments, put it all together into a program, and then we put it out for the guests. I'm also responsible for all the printed material, menus, guest lists, brochures, anything that the guest sees in print, I'm responsible for. I have one person that works with me. He's a printer. He runs a print machine. So I lay out and design all the product, give it to him, he prints it out. It's fairly rigorous work. When you work on a ship, you work every single day. There's no days off, except when your vacation comes. And the surprising part about the vacation is, even if it's 2 months long, you have this period where you have to reacclimate yourself to not getting up at 6:30 in the morning and not having anything to do. So usually what you do is you go for maybe 6 months of just intense work, and then you have this 2 months off where you want to do nothing but watch television, and it's kind of strange. You become like an opposite of what you were back on land, because when you were on land, you kind of took it easy and all you dreamed about was vacationing or moving somewhere or seeing something new. But when you see something new every day, you want to do the exact opposite. You just want to sit and maybe watch Oprah and catch up on what's happening on MTV. So you become like your evil twin in a lot of ways. When you're on the ship, it's sometimes great and sometimes it's dull. And it would be dull for reasons that you never expected. Things like seeing the same ports again and again. I mean, it seems as if you would never lose a fascination with a port, something like Venice. But if you go to Venice for maybe 10 times, and you go to the same restaurants or the same bars, there's only so much you can discover about each port. And sadly, you run out of the ability to discover any more. And that's when I think it's time to move on to a different job. The best way to use a ship experience is to take it as an experience, as a learning, like School of Hard Knocks or something like that. You go, you attend these classes in cultural relations, only it's real life. So you go for 2.5 years, you learn as much as you can, you absorb as much as possible, and then when you go back to your regular life with your regular family, you don't brag or anything, but you can feel something different. You feel as if I don't know, you just feel more grounded, you know. Your perspective is a lot more broad. That's, I think, the best part about being on a ship, is how much you learn and how much you can absorb in just a short amount of time. Also, the parties are nice. So whatever you do, I would say just try to do it as long as you can and try to enjoy it as much as you can. And once you cease to enjoy it, move on.
My name is Fevzi. I came from Turkey. I've been working on the ship such a long time. Almost 17 years. I'm the bartender, and I enjoyed working on the ship because I love it. I love the sea. I love travel. I love to meet people, different people from different country. People ask me why I was working such a long time on the ship. I always say, because I love it. I love people. I love to see them all over the world, different culture, met different people. I always enjoy. I met so many people since I work on the ship. I became very good friend with them. Sometime when I go on vacation, I visit my friends first. I stay with them 1 week, 2 weeks, and then I go home. I stay 2 months at home, and then I come back again. We are working every day, 8 hours, 9 hours, but every day. Sometimes we work less than 8 hours. Depends. When we have an import, we don't have to work 8 hours, but mostly 8 hours, 9 hours. It's not too hard to work on the ship. Everything is easy. People nice, they're all friendly, and also we make money too. Since I work on the ship, I save so much money. I bought 2 houses, I have money in the bank, I have a nice car. Maybe I shouldn't work anymore, I should stop, but when I go home, stay 1 month, and after that I miss the ship. I like to come back. Not only miss the ship, I miss the friends.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Michael. I'm a slot supervisor on the cruise ships. I'm originally from Boston. Worked my way out to Tahoe. Got into myself on a cruise ship so I could be paid to go see the world, which is a great opportunity. Because when I'm out at sea, I work for 10 hours, but then you're not at sea for too long, and then you go into ports and see the world. And then every time we're in port, I'm closed, we get to go out and explore the different countries that I've gone to see. So far I've gone all the way around the world, and it's been a great experience. The work's not too bad. You're out here, I'm the supervisor, so I just pretty much go out, socialize, and I have a good time with a little bit of work. And then I'm off for a little bit and go back to work at night and have some more fun. Then we're in port, go ashore, go see some shows, go out to lunch, tour around, come back to the ship at night, and we have go to some parties, meet some people, and it's a great way. We're being paid to see the world. The tough thing is that there's no such thing as sleeping out here. You just are going at all times, or you're always being woken up or doing something. That's the tough thing about here is the food's not always great. You can't always eat what you want to eat, and the times when you want to eat, you can't eat, and they serve it to different hours. But overall, it's a great time.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I'm a photographer on ships. Photographers on ships do mainly three things. They take, develop, and they sell photographs. We take pictures of events, social events, such as dinners and cocktail parties. We also take pictures of special events, such as the gangways or when you're out on tour. We also take portraits, formal portraits. Sorry. Okay. We develop film. We develop our own film, and we develop the passengers' films. And we also sell film. Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. We develop film. We develop our own film. We develop passengers' film, and we also sell these photographs, much like the gallery that you see behind me. We also, when we sell these products and also film products and also these pictures, it's important to have some degree of hospitality and knowledge of cashier skills. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm turning red. Sorry. Okay, I'll just keep going. Hi, Mom. Okay, so there are advantages and disadvantages of being a photographer, and there's such a large amount of information to know. I'll just highlight the few things that are advantages. It will definitely improve your skills as a photographer. You have to go into the job with some degree of photographic knowledge. But I would say 85% of the job is personality. You must be a very personable person, you must have wonderful people skills and a very kind disposition, but you also must be a hard worker, and you must be willing to work some long hours. You will improve your skills of composition as a photographer, and also your technical skills, including developing film and printing. Also, you will develop your social skills, as you will be probably photographing an average of 900 people per day and probably 10 to 15 shots per week. That's quite a lot of film, and you get to be very fast, very knowledgeable about what you're doing, your equipment, and your job. There are some disadvantages. You do work long hours, you do share a cabin, there is an intense volume of work, but all in all, you'll find that being a photographer on ships and working in ships in general will give you some wonderful lifetime friendships. You will learn some wonderful new skills, and you'll see the world. So, very good. So if you do decide to be a photographer, very good luck to you, and I can't think of anything to say. Mwah. Bye.
Hello, my name is Frank, and I'm a musician on a cruise ship. I play bass in the show band, the orchestra that backs up all the shows here on the ship. And I'm here to talk to you about being a musician on a cruise ship and cruise ship life in general. There's some good things about working on cruise ships, and there's some not so good things about working on cruise ships. And I'll briefly try to describe a little bit of both of them. You can make up your own mind about it. Being a musician on a cruise ship, specifically, you know, what I do is basically I back up production shows, which is, I mean to say, we have shows that are with singers and dancers, and there's also a track of like a full orchestra and a chorus and sound effects, and there's a click track to it, and you play to that, and you play along with the shows. There might be 3 to 5 shows, depends on the ship, could be different, that you play. They're about maybe an hour long, maybe an hour, 10 minutes, some of them. And also, besides doing that, I play dance sets, and I play variety shows with singers and magicians and you know, all kinds of variety acts. And basically, I'd say working on a ship as a musician is it's pretty nice. It varies from ship to ship. I've worked different lines, and it could be more or less good depending on which line you're on. Some lines you'll work a little longer, harder for your money than others. But I think the basic thing is that you have to realize that you're basically here for the passengers' enjoyment, and that consequently you might play a lot of songs that you don't really like constantly, like all our favorites, you know, like In the Mood and New York, New York, and all the stuff you play at wedding receptions. You'll play all of that stuff because a lot of times people, that's what they want to hear, so that's what you do. So just think of it like a big country club gig where you also play production shows and cabaret acts. It's not all grim. There actually are some shows that come on that are very fun to play, that are very musical. And when that happens, it's a bonus, you know. You get to actually do good music, and also a lot of the production shows are good. There's a lot of bad ones too. So it just depends, you know, which line you get on. I think generally working on ships, for me, the thing I dig about it the most right now is I worked ships like 11, 12 years ago in my 20s, and it was party, 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 party. Well, there's a lot of people here like that now. Well, I'm a little older now, and I like to party as much as the next person, but not all the time, not like I used to. So, my basic focus, and I'm sure the basic focus of most of the people here on the ship, is that you can save a lot of money because you have your expenses like lodging and food taken care of. So, consequently, you can actually save money if you want to. It's good for that. Also, I think it's good to hopefully, you know, get on a ship that has an itinerary that you'll like. If you're going to 3 or 4 different places in a 7-day period, in a period of a week that you don't like, I mean, it's okay, it's a job, but it'd be better to go some places you like. So to me, itinerary is important, and I choose the ship I work on according to the itinerary because I like traveling and seeing a lot of different places. I'd say one of the biggest downsides of working on a ship is that as a musician, you're usually going to share a cabin, and that could be good or bad depending on who your roommate is. Yeah. So I've had roommates that I've roomed with them for 5-6 months, no problem. It was great. And then some I asked immediately to be transferred, if possible. That's not always possible, so you have to think about that. And if you get a bad roommate, you can make the decision then. Either you can deal with it or you can't. One of the good things about working on ships to me is that you're working with a lot of different people from all over the world, because most ships have a varied crew, maybe 20 to 30 different countries. So you'll find out a lot about a lot of different people, and firsthand from the people and from talking to them. And for me, that's fulfilling. The downside of that is the very differences that you learn about and very interesting to you can sometimes be irritating day in and day out. But you have, you come to realize to respect and value the differences, yeah, between people. So that if you can do that, then you have a better chance of getting along with people working on a cruise ship, because it's very important to try to be a person who can get along. I mean, you don't have to be Mr. Sunshine or anything, but you have to at least know how to get along with people, because you'll be working with people in a close environment for maybe 4 or 5 months at a time every day, and so if being around people all the time is really a big drag for you, it's probably not the kind of gig for you.
We sincerely hope this information has given you some insight into a lifestyle that most people either love or hate. Very few people that work on ships will say, it's just okay. The publishers of this videotape have attempted to be as accurate and inclusive as possible, but be advised that all ships and all companies are different, so get as much information as you can during your job interview. And as with any travel situation, travel at your own risk. Good luck and bon voyage.